What many improving schools have in common is a real commitment to early intervention programmes to lift attainment.
When you do more, you understand it, and then you just want to do more, and then you just get really good at it.
Doesn't matter if you get it wrong, because if you get it wrong, you learn by your mistakes, and you might become a superstar.
This year at Calverton Primary in Newham, its school improvement plan's focus is on raising the standard of writing at every level.
And now I've got some sweets from my favourite shop and my favourite sweet.
Teacher Sarah Fowle has some sweet methods to improve her withdrawal group's ability to write descriptively.
Now with sweets, what senses are we going to be using to describe it, Maisie?
You might be able to taste it.
Kieran?
You can feel it.
Right, let's try some of those things. And as you're doing it, feeling it, touching it, tasting it, smelling it, shout out some of those words we can use to describe it. So do you want to take one? Yoni?
It's a bit squashy.
Squashy, that's a good word to describe it. Is that how it feels?
Sticky.
Sticky, excellent. So much easier to come up with words to describe things when you can see them, feel them, touch them.
I think it's a very good opportunity to brainstorm, because actually if children don't have those words inside them and are able to use them and understand them, they're never going to want to write, because they actually have got a very limited range of language, and they've got to go through the whole multisensory experience of seeing what the word looks like visually. They've got to taste it, they've got to feel it, they've got to touch it, and they've got to be able to use all those senses so that to start make connections with it.
Right, okay, so what we're doing now, we're going to go back to our sweets and thinking about sweets. We're going to take it in turns to go up to the board and write what we think is our best word that we came up with. Sweet. Juicy. Can anybody see what letter might have been missed out of juicy? You've seen it? Have you seen one? Right, has she put that I in the right place?
No.
Where do you think Hafisa should have put the I, Dexter?
After the U.
After the U, well done. Spread them out a bit.
Having thought about how best to describe sweets, the class now focuses on words to describe landscapes.
So I've now written down my 4 features. So I've got sky, but I'm not going to use the old blue sky. That's really, really boring. I'm going to choose some really bright, would be better, bright. The bright sky. What else is my sky like? The cloudy, yeah. Colourful.
Dark.
Foggy.
Beautiful.
Dark. Beautiful. Excellent. So I'm going to choose about 3 or 4 of those words and just write them under sky.
Even without the benefit of sweets as bribes, these Class 1 pupils seem to be enjoying a phonics lesson.
How many sounds? Oh.
Teacher Vicky King is using a national strategies promoted programme called Communication, Language and Literacy Development to enliven learning.
Good. The national strategies and the letters and sounds document in particular have really supported the development of children's phonics. It's really clearly set out which sounds the children should learn in which developmental order, and shows you lots and lots of activities that the children can do in class, that the teachers can do with them to make that learning fun, but also to make it consistent. Right, rocket fingers. Get your rocket fingers. Okay, and I want you to trace that letter O. So trace the S for the sounds, and then trace the O for the O. Good. The idea is that some children don't just learn by listening and by looking, they learn by bigger movements, physical movements, and anything that's a little bit more fun and a little bit more interesting. Okay, let's put our timer up, 30 seconds. We're going to see if we can do more words than we did yesterday. So,
Made, by, get, I, outside, from.
excellent. Wow, you smashed your record. You guys are getting really fast at these words. Well done. We were teaching a new sound today. They learn at least one new sound each day. So we look at the sound, we say the sound in lots of different words, and then read and write some words with that sound in. We've got the sound oi. And words that have this sound in. The boy likes his toy.
At Calverton, cheap plastic sleeves encase the phoneme frames used to help children split words into individual sound blocks. This allows mistakes to be easily rectified.
One of the important things for young children when they're exploring and developing and refining and practicing their early writing skills, their early phonics skills, is that actually we don't have permanency, because actually children are less likely to explore and experiment if things are always going to be there and they perceive it as being wrong. And using tools such as phoneme frames really help them to start thinking about, I can hear the sounds, how many letters can make those sounds, how do they fit into the boxes, so they start to make the relation between what they hear and what they see on the piece of paper or the whiteboard in this case.
Calverton's success as an improving primary school involves frequent assessment of each child's progress. With over half their pupils having English as an additional language, early intervention can reap tremendous dividends.
Let's look at the books and just to see where they're at.
Right, well, the progress they've made this year is quite astonishing from September. This is Topi, who's currently achieving very highly, you know, developing his phonics work as well. The progress he's made from writing simple sentences with some of the key words in, but me having to have him read them to me all the time and tell me what they're in. I can read all his work, so he's gone on a good 2 sub-levels in a term.
Let's talk about Kevin, Vicky, because I see that he has scored the highest and he's made the most progress. He was struggling really with the letters to begin with. Yes,
he wasn't forming some of his letters correctly and putting odd sounds in the wrong places, but the phonics program's really sort of helped him. He's quite competitive, so he likes to be top of the class. He likes to show me how well he's doing, and the progress I've seen with him is just huge.
Heading northwards across London at Southbury Primary School in Enfield, an even higher proportion of children, 80%, have English as a second language. Here the school improvement plan's focus includes a whole school initiative called Talk to Learn. This is an early intervention scheme promoting communication and listening skills.
And draw a line to the other side of the circle. Fantastic, Roshan. Good listening.
Part of the planning is to actually structure questions, to give talk frames to the children to help them to be able to articulate really clearly. So instead of, you might ask the children to talk about how Goldilocks feels, but then when you get them to answer, you'd say, for example, Goldilocks felt because, so they have to then think through and answer in it. Rather than just say scared, they will say Goldilocks felt scared because she saw the wolf, that kind of thing.
What do you think could be inside the magic box today? I want you to use our sentence starter. I think that, with your partner, what could be inside the magic box? I think that. Talk to your partner.
A vital part of Talk to Learn is the teaming of pupils with a partner. The pairing could be of a native English speaker with a pupil who has only recently arrived in Britain, or it could simply be 2 friends with much to discuss.
There's a range of ways in which we pair children up. I mean, we leave that to the individual class teachers to find the pairs that they think will work best.
Yeah, and then we was making a glittery thing. Yeah. And
then you can decorate your own alien, innit?
Yeah.
Using a good role model of English really helps them to develop their language. Also, the use of sentence starters with their partner helps them to speak in full sentences, which sometimes they do struggle with. So, what do you think could be inside the magic box? I want you to use our sentence starter, I think that. What could be inside the magic box? Zavi?
I think that there will be them pop-out things.
Well, what sorts of pop-out things, Zavi?
When party poppers.
We could have some party poppers coming out. What might come out of the party poppers, Zavi?
Streamers will make a big loud bang. I think that in the magic box there is a present for all of us.
Crucial to any early intervention programme is assessing its impact. Based on a national strategies Venn diagram, Esther G explains to her head and deputy head the refinements she has added to track one class's progress.
It looks at their reading, writing and maths together. So what you can do, for example, these two children here are on track for reading and on track for writing, but not on track for maths. These two children are very easily targetable.
Because it's just maths that they're not on track for.
Completely.
Gotcha, right.
We've been able to identify the children. That's going to make a real difference to us, because it's interesting enough, it's useful enough to know that there are two children who are on track for reading and writing but not for maths, but so much more useful to know who they are so that we can pass that information immediately onto the classroom teachers and they can do something about it.
The other thing I've done with this is highlighted the children that are new to us.
Yes, because there's a huge number in this cohort, isn't there? It's nearly half of them.
What that shows you here is it's very clear that the children not on track for anything, reading, writing or maths, are mainly the children...
The ones who've joined us later on. Yes.
So, I mean, that's a massive thing for us. These two girls here, for example, are new to English and they are doing so well. So, you know, once they've been here for a bit longer, there's no reason that they wouldn't be making the desired grades.
A version of this Venn diagram can be found on the Teachers TV website. At Preston Park Primary in Brent, the improvement plan focuses on personalised learning through the creative use of ICT. Learning is often disguised as fun, and pupils play a wide variety of maths games.
I'm better than my mum and dad at this game, and I'm better at doing my numbers.
Pupils who struggle with numbers can find their confidence is boosted by competing in Mathletics, a global maths game.
It's based on children's mental math skills, and it allows children to play against the computer or against the world. You've got someone in the United States. Wow.
There's a country called America, and so if we want to win, so we need to get the sums ready and type in our laptop.
In years 5 and 6, each class has maths forums. Homework and extension work for those needing additional intervention are all online.
I'm on the maths page and I'm scrolling down to the forum when I ask Miss Luca if I have any worries, if she could help me.
On the computer, pupils feel no stigma in asking for help.
I will log on, I will reply to him and give him some few activities on the internet that will help support his learning. Children really enjoy going on the internet because they love the maths room. It's got many forums on there, it's got mental maths tests, it's got timetable tests on there, and if they complete it right, I get notified and they get a wristband or a timetable badge saying Timetable Superstar.
It doesn't matter if you get it wrong, because if you get it wrong, you learn by your mistakes and you might become a superstar.
The page has been on for just over a year and I've had 8,500 hits, which means children are logging on daily and they really enjoy communicating with me through the forum.
I will learn from my mistakes and I just tell my teacher and then she will just help me with it and then I'll just get more good at it.